One more down, 2 to go. Yo, what is up, Crocs and Climbers, Pokemon fans? We're here to talk about episode 83 of Pokemon Horizons, and this is the Amethio episode that I talked about in the last episode review. And if you guys have seen this episode because it's like 3 weeks old at this point, I'm gonna say that right now, it did not go as I expected. I thought we were gonna get the whole, like, Amethio doesn't trust his grandfather anymore, like him working with Spinel is like kind of sus, so he's like, I ain't working with the explorers anymore, so I'm gonna do my own thing, but at the same time trying to find my own way, right? That's what I thought. Turns out the real problem child here is Spinel. Spinel, according to Amethio and according to Hamburg, Spinel is trying to betray Gibeon, which I'm sitting here like, I don't know about that. You know, in a sense, I can understand why they have this mentality, because, you know, we've seen Spinel doing all this fucking crazy shit here and there, and like always doing some sus things on the background, and is always experimenting and doing stuff with the Recurium. So you're just like, maybe this guy is not somebody that should be trusted by anybody. I just don't understand whether the basis is that he's gonna betray Gibeon. Like, yeah, maybe that could happen, realistically speaking. Like, Spinel is that type of scumbag. Like, you can definitely see him do it. He'd stab his mother in the back just to get ahead in the scientific field. That's the way he comes off as. But I just don't see the correlation here. Like, maybe it's the fact that he's trying to use the Recurium for his own gain instead of, like, what Gibeon's wanting to do, which is, like, eternal life or whatever the fuck. I really don't understand, you know, Gibeon's end goal here, right? Where he just wants the Recurium back, which is locked up in Rakua. So realistically speaking, there's a bunch of different things he could do, but I guess immortality is like, oh, that's like a plus or whatever. I really don't understand Gibeon's whole thing, and because we haven't had interactions with the guy, right? Gibeon is supposed to be the mastermind of everything happening, and we have barely interacted with this man. So at the end of the day, we don't actually know his true goal, his true purpose. For all we know, he just wants to get his Zygarde back, because poor Zygarde is there chilling like, bro, I'm missing like 40% of my cells. What's going on, man? Remember that in the flashback, Zygarde practically sacrificed itself to keep the Recurium because he doesn't fucking trust it. Now, in their logic, it was because of the Black Rayquaza that Zygarde did this whole thing. But realistically speaking, when you look at Zygarde as a Pokemon and as a concept, it's the Pokemon of the ecosystem. This bitch doesn't want this shit out there because it's dangerous for the environment. Maybe Zygarde and Rayquaza had some fucking conversation with their weird Pokemon language or whatever the fuck that we can't understand. But realistically speaking, how would you not think that Zygarde, the ecosystem Pokemon, would not be afraid that this mineral that should not exist would be spread out in the world causing mayhem? That goes against the laws of nature for him. I don't trust anybody, realistically speaking. Like right now, you have Amethio doing his own thing. Spinel is trying to do his like sus things. Like Agade is the only one I know for a fact that's working with Spinel. I think that Sango and Onyx are completely oblivious to everything that's going on, because anytime you've seen Spinel doing some shit, Agade just happens to be around. So you know for a fact that she's involved with whatever he's doing. But Onyx and Sango are over there doing their own business, like doing reconnaissance and shit, following the kids. They are clueless as fuck. I honestly, in my mind, like if we're gonna go through my whole conspiracy theory stuff that I usually tend to do when it comes to like the Explorers team and everybody in there, right? I personally think that if Gibeon is going to be betrayed by Spinel, that is a legitimate possibility that could happen. Spinel has his own mindset of what he wants to do, because Spinel is a selfish prick. We all know this. We've known this since the fucking beginning that we've seen this man, right? So there is a high possibility that he is doing all this in order to steal the Recurium from Gibeon and then like just betrays Gibeon for whatever the fuck. In my world, I think that they're working in cahoots, because it wouldn't make sense that Gibeon wants the Recurium and he's been wanting it. So he finds the one person who has no attachment to anybody in the organization, okay? Gibeon and Hamburg were working together for a really long time. Hamburg ends up teaching Amethio, Onyx, Sango, and I think they mentioned Agade, but like realistically speaking, the only one that's completely outside of the group is Spinel. So maybe, right, because Gibeon is a smart man, he saw the potential of Spinel and decided to use that, and they're working in cahoots. Like, Gibeon's gonna get his immortality or whatever the hell, and then Spinel gets to have his fucking research stone so he can unlock the true power or this aggressive whatever the hell he is trying to do, right? Realistically, there's no indication right now that they aren't working together besides the mindset that Hamburg, and I honestly personally speaking right now, because I don't trust anybody, I think Hamburg is misleading Amethio. Like, I know that Hamburg, because of the way they portrayed him, he's like a second father figure to Amethio, right? He's always been there, taking care of him, helping him grow, like teaching him and all that stuff, right? We know that there's a connection and a bond between the two. But realistically speaking, his loyalty lies with Gibeon. So if Gibeon is actually working undercover and in the background with some secret plans with Spinel, so the only thing this episode ends up doing is just create confusion in terms of what's going on and who's working for who. Because we see they're going to Rakua. Everybody's going to Rakua now. Okay? You have Rayquaza leading the Blade Usagi, right? They're going to Rakua. They're basically there. Then you have Gibeon telling Spinel, Agade, Onyx, and Sango that they're going to head out to Rakua, which if this man already knew where the fuck it was, why wasn't he there? But that's a story for another time. And then Hamburg is going with Amethio and his goons to go to Rakua. So there's like 3 different teams right now going to the same location. And I don't know why the fuck Gibeon is still stuck wherever the hell he is. Because they didn't show him moving. Which means he's trusting Spinel. Right? Which is where the potential betrayal comes in. He's trusting Spinel to go get the recruiter for him. And he's just there chilling. Right? So I don't even think Gibeon is going to be anywhere near this conflict, which just makes this even worse. Because what's going to end up happening is that the kids with Freed are going to get there to Rakua, right? They're going to get there first. And then you're going to get fucking Spinel and his crew showing up. And all of a sudden, Amethio's going to show up. And they're like, oh, he's betraying the explorers. And then it's going to become a fucking conflict between all 3 of them. And then all 3 are going to fight. And then some shit's going to happen. And then Gibeon's going to show up and say, I'm taking over the world. I don't fucking know. Okay, that's just my crazy theory. This episode, overall, it wasn't bad. I just feel like everybody's pointing fingers. And I don't like the finger pointing. Okay, without any concrete proof of anything. Is Spinel a scumbag? Yes. Is he going to betray somebody? I'm pretty sure he's betrayed everybody already, but they don't fucking know it yet. The one inconclusive thing right now is that we don't know Gibeon's entire plan because this motherfucker hasn't been on screen for more than 30 minutes in the span of the whole show. Like, we're nearing 100 episodes soon, and this motherfucker has barely been in here. We can barely trust Hamburger's tales because we don't trust him either, right? He was against Diana, so there's a bad blood there, so who knows? I personally trust Diana more than I trust Hamburg, but at the end of the day, honestly, that could be the final straw here. Diana could be fucking involved. I don't know. Okay, this episode is just full on confusion, and I'm just hoping that the next few episodes unravel some of this shit because right now, I'm confused, and I usually like to notice things that are like the hidden details that happen throughout the episodes, which is why I'm able to predict certain things that are going to happen. This time, I'm completely lost. And maybe it's because I've been marathoning this whole time and I haven't really been paying too much attention to some of the small details. But right now, I don't trust anybody's word. I still think Amethio is going to turn against everybody, right? I still stand by that. Whether it's because Spinel finally proves that he's the manipulative scumbag that we've all known him to be, right? And then it's going to be a clash between the 2 of them. Or he's going to betray his grandfather because he finally finds out what the hell he's trying to do. At the end of the day, Amethio is not with the explorers anymore, which is what I've been predicting for like the past year. But that's basically it. I think I've rambled on long and in this episode review. I hope you guys enjoy my weird conspiracy theory brain when it comes to the fucking Pokemon anime, right? I know that I'm out there, I know that I'm out of whack, but I hope that my ramblings were at least somewhat enjoyable to you all. But I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you so much for watching. I have been your boy, SoresanCrockxen, and I will see you guys in future videos, streams, shorts, and everything in between.